The Psychoanalytic Theory by Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud separated the mind into three parts: the id, the ego, and the superego. These all live within the mind, within the unconscious, the preconscious, and the conscious. First off is the id. The id is the most basic part of our personality and wants instant gratification for our wants and needs. If these needs or wants are not met, a person becomes tense or anxious. The id allows us to get our basic needs met. Freud believed that the id is based on our pleasure principle. In other words, the id wants whatever feels good at the time, with no consideration for the reality of the moment or event that's occurring. It does not have the ability to be logical or know what's moral. It is a collection of urges. We can call the id meeting basic needs. Next off is the ego. The ego deals with reality, trying to meet the desires of the id in a way that is socially acceptable to the world. This may mean delaying gratification and helping to get rid of the tension the id feels if a desire is not met right away. The ego recognizes that other people have needs and wants too, and that being selfish is not good for us in the long run. The ego is developed by experience. It seeks to please the id's drive in realistic ways. Unlike the id's collection of pleasures, the ego can think about things. It can observe reality and know what's rational or realistic. The ego is what allows the mind to act. We can call the ego dealing with reality. Lastly is the superego, which develops last, and it is based on morals and judgments about right and wrong. Even though the superego and the ego may reach the same decision about something, the superego's reason for that decision is more based on moral values, while the ego's decision is based more on what others will think or what the consequences of an action could be. The superego could also be identified as our conscience. It is a collection of moral lessons we have learned through experience. The superego can use guilt to punish the ego, but will award it with pride if deemed worthy. Now let's move on to an example. Let's say you had a cake your sibling made and was waiting to eat at the end of the day. The id of you would want to eat it solely based on pleasure and not caring about what happened. The ego would not eat it based on what's acceptable to others around him, to avoid confrontation and to avoid argument. The superego would not eat the cake based on morals. As soon as he would take a bite, he would feel guilty right away, and that's what the superego does as your conscience. It tries to balance out both the ego and the id. This is what makes up your mind. This is the Psychoanalytic Theory by Sigmund Freud.